The following program is sponsored by Kaylee's Outdoors. All content is the responsibility of Kaylee's Outdoors. Good morning, hunters and fishermen. It's time now for Catch the Madness, a presentation of Kaylee's Outdoors. Let your friends know that Catch the Madness is on Mountain Talk starting right now.
Good morning, folks. This is Kaylee with Catch the Madness, brought to you by Steady Form Torque Eliminator. Thank you for joining us. As always, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance first. Take off your hat, put your hand over your heart, repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our guest this morning will be Tim Salee of the Christian Waterfowl Association, and this will be going on in the great state of Arkansas, so I want you to stand by to listen to it this morning. Tim, you're with the Christian Waterfowl Association, but before we get to the Christian Waterfowl Association, you are from the great state of Arkansas, duck hunting capital of the world, waterfowl capital of the world, if you ask me. But tell us a little bit about Tim. I know you're from this area, or from the area, so I want the folks to know who you are.
Sure. I was born and raised in Fort Smith, which is still northwest Arkansas, and had lived there most of my whole life until we moved to Hot Springs, and then from there to here, and just fell in love with northwest Arkansas. We love the area up here around Springdale, Tawnytown, and so I always grew up. I didn't always grow up hunting ducks per se. That came later on, and I could tell you a bit more about that later. But just fell in love with our area, and you can't. I travel all over the country now, and there's nothing like seeing that Arkansas sign when you get back across the state line.
Ain't it great? Ain't it great?
That's right.
We do have, like I said, it's amazing at the animals that we are allowed to even hunt in the great state of Arkansas. It's called a natural state for some reason.
Oh, that's right. And around your area, I think the elk population was reintroduced, and so that's a significant opportunity right there to be able to harvest some elk in our area.
It is, and of course we have the draw and everything, but my husband works for Baxter County, and he says that there's a lot of elk coming into the Norfolk region down there by the lake, and they're just cruising down the river there.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Incredible sight.
Oh, it is. And I tell everybody, no animal knows no state line or no county line, so before long we'll have them all over North Arkansas, so we're proud of that. Tell us how you got into did you get into waterfowl before you started this, or were you waterfowl hunting first?
Yes, I was actually I worked with youth at a church in Fort Smith almost 30 years ago, and we did a talent contest as a kind of a fun night, like the Gong Show that used to be on television. And one of my youth for talent brought a duck call, single reed R&T duck call, and he did that, and I was just intrigued, and asked questions, and of course that led to a hunt, and his brother, they both took me on my first duck hunt. So that was something that I never will forget, and harvesting my first mallard, and then of course I shared all that with my family and got them involved. And then I've been involved in ministry. We pastored for about 20 years. And during that time, after hunting some of my younger brother, we talked about the idea of a fellowship of Christian athletes only for waterfowlers, the outdoor industry. And that idea was, we never really pursued that much until I pastored here in northwest Arkansas, and we had a wild game dinner. I'm sure you attended some of those.
Oh, yes, sir.
They're just tremendous opportunities just to get together, have a good time, have a good positive message. And it was really at that night that all the ideas that I ever had about the Christian Waterfowl Association came that night to that meeting, and I knew I was supposed to start that. And that was about 5 years ago. And, fast forward to today, we just resigned that church to do this full time now, and have close to 50 chapters in 15 states and growing. So
That is, that's one of the things that I kind of love about waterfowl hunters. It's kind of a group of people that if you see one waterfowler, you can talk about just about anything with that person, because we all hunt the same thing. We want teal, we want mallards, we want wood ducks, of course geese. I mean, but we all come together, and if one's in need, then we help them out. That's the thing about waterfowl hunting. But I'll have to say this: it's probably the most expensive habit that anybody in the world could have.
Yeah, and I understand that. I worked my way up to all of my gear down through the years, and it makes you really appreciate some good quality equipment and gear. I just worked hard and saved and bargained and bartered and all those things. It is pretty expensive, but it's well worth it when you get out in the blind and you experience all of creation just comes alive. When the sun starts to come up, and all of a sudden you hear that jet sound of the wings and the whistling wings. I mean, you forget about all that expense and hard work.
You know what people say? Are you not stressed out when you go to the woods or to the blind? And I'm like, no, that's my time with nature. That's my time with God. I'm not. Exactly. That's the most stress-free I have ever been in my life is hunting or fishing, either. For that matter. Sure. But let's talk a little bit about this Christian Waterfowl Association, and of course, everybody knows about Ducks Unlimited and about things that the bigger companies. So that's why I wanted to get you on the show. Sure. You've got a great opportunity coming up here at the end of the month, and I want everybody to know what it is. So tell us a little bit about what we've got planned for the end of the month.
Well, Kaylee, what happened as a result of that wild game dinner and starting a website for the CWA, that kind of grew into a festival and in our national meeting. And what amazes me about that is just in a short amount of time, I believe it was in 2011, we had Phil Robertson at our event and his wife, Miss Kay, and people drove from 19 states to come to Siloam Springs for our annual meeting and festival. And so it's just grown to the point where this year we're moving it. This will be our first ever indoors festival. We're moving it to the campus of John Brown University. Going to use their basketball arena for the expo and use their great hall for the dinner. We always have a CWA dinner that benefits the CWA, and then on Sunday morning we have a sportsman's chapel. And we're going to fit all that in there along with our duck and goose calling championship. And then we'll have the 3D archery competition. We'll have several different things going on around the festival site. But that festival is just a 2-day event. People are already booked booth-wise from all over the country. I've heard people that will travel down to our calling competition as far as Minnesota and South Texas. So it's from all over the U.S. People come in. But it's not just waterfowl. Waterfowlers, they cross over and hunt deer and fish.
Oh, of course.
Turkey and all that. Well, we'll have a little bit of everything at the festival with our seminars. We'll have fishing pros, turkey hunting, calling champions, pros, all the different aspects of deer hunting. Our good friend Brad Harris, who's a senior pro staff for Realtree, he's been helping me the last few years. He'll be on hand again to help out with seminars and judging and things like that. So it's just a fun family atmosphere, and the most exciting thing we usually have is someone that's a celebrity or something like that.
Right.
Harlan Bigfoot Hatcher.
Yes, I know Mr. Harlan real well.
Well, he wanted to come last year, and the show schedule didn't work out for us, but he is coming this year, and he's also an avid waterfowler. He loves the outdoors, not just alligator, shooting those alligators on the show, but he loves the duck hunt.
Most folks know him as Bigfoot on the Swamp People, but Mr. Harlan, and I will give him that respect, he does love to hunt, and he's going to be a great guest for the show. When we talk about the show itself, there's going to be be seminars throughout the day, and people that want to participate as far as going into the seminars, if they have a special thing they want to hear about, whether it be waterfowl calling, turkey calling. I'm not sure. You might even have, like you said, you got Brad from Real Tree. He may be talking about a product that they're coming out with. There's so many different seminars going to go on throughout the day on Saturday that you'll have a chance to really get to understand what's going on in the hunting world.
Sure. And then in between those seminars, we're going to throw in some music this year, a little bit more acoustic flavor in the arena, and giveaways throughout the day. We always give away at our dinner. Of course, there's kind of three aspects of this. You can come to the festival, and the admission is real reasonable. It's just $5 for adults, and children 12 and under are free. That's just to help us pay for the arena and all the expense. But you can come in, and we'll give away prizes like every 30 minutes. We're going to have a gun frenzy on Sunday where we give away some guns the last couple of hours every 30 minutes. And you get a ticket with your admission for that. And then Harlan Bigfoot Hatcher will be on hand. And then at our dinner, that's a little bit more expensive, but for $25 you can get a membership thrown in for the CWA. You can get a gun giveaway ticket and have access to the dinner, a great meal, and all the activities there, live and silent auction. And then or you could do a VIP meet and greet with Bigfoot, Harlan Hatcher. All of that, Kaylee, helps support the CWA, our mission to preserve not only our Christian heritage, but our waterfowl heritage. So all of it's for a great cause. It's just an incredible weekend. The chapel service on Sunday is free. Everybody can come to that.
Okay.
That doesn't cost. But this year we just had to have a little bit of admission just to help with the expense.
Oh, sure. I mean, because everything costs nowadays. I mean, nothing's free in this world anymore. And I don't blame you. And it's at John Brown University. I'm going to reiterate that. I'm very lucky. Kaylee's Outdoors and Catch the Madness will have a booth up there, and we've got three companies that's going to be inside our booth. It's going to be Steady Form, Whiskey Mountain Run Calls, and Legacy Lanyards. So we're excited about doing that with you guys, and having be able to be around everybody up there at Siloam Springs. If anybody wants to know about how to get in contact with you as far as renting a booth, what do they need to do?
Our main information line that you can call is 479-957-3033. Or you can go on the website. It has all of our information. It's just a simple, short address. It's, of course, www.iwf.thecwa.org. And that just stands for International Waterfowl Festival. The Christian Waterfowlers Association.org. So, or you can Google us in, just International Waterfowl Festival. It's easy to find.
And do they have to sign up? I mean, what they'll do, they'll sign a thing up and send in their money for the booth, and everything will be right. Okay. And of course, I don't know. We'll talk about that later on about me. How do I fill out the form, or do I just talk to you about it? But anyway. The Christian Waterfowl Associations, it is something that folks need to realize, that out of all the things that people do in this world, the conservation of our waterfowl is a very, very big objective, especially to me and several other my good friends, including yourself, that we want to preserve the heritage of waterfowl hunting. We want to preserve the heritage of hunting, period.
Definitely.
And so this will help us, right?
Exactly. And, I would think that our outdoor community, and even past the outdoor community, they would want Christian waterfowlers. And for this reason, at a young age, we teach our youth hunter ethics, how to take care of the land, leave it better than when you found it.
That's exactly right.
So there's a lot of things that go along with hunting that is more than just going out trying to harvest some ducks. we're going to teach you not only all the ethics parts, we're going to teach you the conservation of the land and the habitat, and to restore, to give back. So at a young age, our youth program is called the Blue Wings, and like a blue wing teal. And we start those youth out and have activities for them that in all aspects of hunting and conservation and restoration and those kinds of things.
Will you have any of those seminars for the kids there at the show this year?
We do. We always have our Blue Wings Kids Zone.
Okay.
And it's and I know there's a lot of different things to that. One of the things, probably the best line we ever have is the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission laser shoot that they have. But that's a part of it. There's some things for duck identification guide. There's some giveaways. There's some color sheets. There's something for all ages of the youth.
Very good. And that's from what, up to 12, or does it go?
Well, actually, our youth goes to 17 years of age.
Okay.
And but the 17-year-olds are, of course, not going to want a color sheet. But
I don't know. I like the color.
So we try to just have something a little bit for all ages, as they come in. But yeah, there'll definitely be a kid zone and get our youth. We want our youth involved. We're really fortunate now to have a couple of campus chapters. I don't have them listed on the site. But, Little Rock area has one of our first Christian Waterfowl Association, what I would call a campus chapter.
Okay.
And so, it's exciting.
It is, and I want this to spread all over the United States, of course, just not Arkansas, even though there's a lot of different groups in different states, I want this all over the United States, because once you... I don't want to see any population of animal to go down, but in order for our populations not to go down, we've got to teach other hunters what we believe in. We've got to teach them the proper ethical, moral, don't kill $50 a year if you don't have to, if you ain't got no place to put them, or if you don't have nobody to eat them. It's kind of like, doing an urban hunt. You can take as many as you want, but the thing is, you've got to be able, you need to give it to the homeless shelter, or you know what I'm saying. So we got to get that figured out, and this is the Christian Waterfowl Association teaches you that, and that's what I like about it. So we've got that covered. It's $5 for adults. It's free for kids. They're going to be inside, so it's not going to be the Arkansas 90-degree temperature that day, I'm sure. Now, do you have any booths outside?
We may possibly. I know that some of the boat dealers and autos and things like that will have some displays out.
Okay.
Come in, just for the sake of the arena. That's not your typical arena that would be really set up for something like some of the expos. It's more of a basketball arena, but we cover up the floor and set up all the booths. But I was looking at our booth vendor list. There's a lot of different. There's something for the ladies, so men bring the wives out and the children. They'll have a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not it's not a men's event. It's a family event. I really stress that. Kelly, I just thought of something. The admission is $5, but if you purchase tickets early, I just knocked $1 off, so it's $4 in advance. And
okay.
Get to the door, they'll go up to $5. But
okay. If you go on the website, it's $4 and $5 for at the door. So all the vendors need to set up on Friday if possible, because you don't want to be rushing around and wait till Saturday morning and you're not ready when the doors open. So vendors, be ready Friday to go in and put your stuff in. It'll be safe, right? Nobody's going to bother.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that campus has security and it's locked up at night.
Okay, good deal. I've got a question to ask you. Is there any pending legislation that threatens our organization there?
No, not that I know of. Not that I'm aware of. The only thing that has kind of changed here lately is I know our Senator Bozeman, and I've talked with him. I know that the duck stamp federal-wise is going to increase from $15 to $25, and that's really the only impact. And we've been working with them also to try to change some legislation here in Arkansas. We do some wounded veteran hunts.
Awesome.
That's one way we give back. We did one recently, 4 wounded veterans from around the country, and all of those wounded veterans have to pay out-of-state permits and tags. And I'm not against supporting the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, but I think those that sacrificed and gave all, we should take care of them.
I do too, and you can count me in on helping you guys with those wounded warriors, because I honestly, and have done it ever since I've been in this industry, I've taken my wounded warrior friends or people that even served that wasn't wounded, that needs just that little extra oomph to get them back into the outdoors. May be post-traumatic stress disorder, which is a very big illness nowadays, because you've got everybody's got to realize what these guys see over there, so that's an illness whether you see it or not. That's a very big illness in our country with the wounded, with the warriors. So if you get a chance, make sure you always take a soldier out. If he gave his life, if he put his life on the line for this country, then by all means. And I'm like you now, I love the state of Arkansas and I love the Game and Fish Commission, but I just don't think they should, like you said. So our duck stamps are going up. That's okay. I'm going to pay forward anyway, right?
Right. Not too bad. And it supports what we're all about. So.
Yeah, and it goes to conservation, and that helps the great state of Arkansas. When I told you, when I talked to you the other day, I think when they get across the Missouri state line, they split and they go to your side, they go down to Jonesboro, but they kind of miss us in the middle.
Yeah, I know it.
So I'm going to have to come over there and do some duck hunting with you guys.
That's right. And one of the neat things about our organization now being spread out across the country, we travel quite a bit, and I'm able to hunt some of the other states I've never been able to hunt before. So that does make you appreciate the great state of Arkansas. Again, like you said at the beginning, there's nothing like home, and Arkansas is blessed to really have some incredible waterfowling opportunities, and so nothing quite like it.
And it's just not everybody thinks when you talk about waterfowl, you're talking about Stuttgart. No, that's the great place. That's where the duck capital of the world is. But we have great waterfowl up here, and like you said, you get to travel all over this country. I'm gonna be fortunate this year to do some nice duck hunting up and goose hunting up in the great state of New York. You don't think of New York as having the waterfowl, but they do, and so I've been invited, and I'm going to take that opportunity, and I'm excited because duck hunting's my passion. I love all kind of hunting, but if I got to pick one, I'd have to pick duck hunting and be my passion. Sure. Tim, let me tell you something. You just don't know what this means to the state of Arkansas, to me, to our listeners. For you guys to do this, it's folks, you're going to spend $5 during the week. Just go, get on the website, order it for $4. You can't beat that. You've got, what? How many vendors, Tim? How many would you say?
We're limited to probably 75 just in the arena.
Oh, my.
And we always have more than that where we used to have it. So
right.
We'll fill it up. It's almost filled now. So if you want to get in on this, you really need to do it right now. About a month out is usually when everybody tries to book in.
Oh, yeah. But, the people that's coming in, they've got so many booths they can go to and go through. And then, if you get to meet Harlan Bigfoot from the swamp people, get your chance, folks, because it's going to be a great opportunity. He is funny. He tells it like it is, and he knows a lot about different types of hunting. If you want to ask him about alligators, I'm sure he'll give you an answer. But if you want to ask him about duck hunting, make sure you ask him. And like I said, Brad's great. He gives a great conference, from Realtree. He does a great program from Realtree. And the boat vendors, I'm sure probably, some of the local, I kind of call us the boat capital of the world right here in Flippin, so I'm sure some of those great vendors are going to be out there, Ranger, Bass Cat, I'm sure, Legend, maybe. I'm just giving off the top of my head, trying to think of the boat people around here. But everybody has something to offer the folks that come in. You just don't know, Tim. It's been a great pleasure to have you on the show this morning, and I want to invite you back when you've got something going on. Please give me a call, and we'll get you set back up on another show if we have to. I will be out there, and we will bring Catch the Madness out there. And of course, once you start waterfowl hunting, it's a madness. You got to go do it some more. But I appreciate your service in the ministry to minister to people, and I appreciate your service to giving us this Christian Waterfowl Association to be able to have a place to go, not only to waterfowl hunt, but to fellowship in, and not be afraid of upsetting anyone over what we do. And I appreciate that. So Tim, please come back, and glad you were on Catch the Madness this morning, and we're going to have you back soon.
Well, thank you so much, Kaylee. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Have a good evening or good morning, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this morning, folks, for Catch the Madness with Kaylee, brought to you by Steady Form Outdoors. Our great guest, Tim Sully. He is very, very great at what he does, and we're proud to have the Christian Waterfowl Association on the show this morning. Be sure to check that out. It is in northern Arkansas, so it is something to do. Not that far to come from, the whole state and out of state and in between states. So make sure you come and join us down there. In Kaylee's Outdoors and Catch the Madness, we'll have a booth down there. We'll be representing Steady Form, Whiskey Run Custom Calls, and Legacy Lanyards, and a couple of other companies there. So make sure you join us out there. It's going to be the end of the month, June the 27th. I didn't even ask him that. June the 27th and 28th, I believe it is. So come on out to Siloam Springs, and we'll meet you there. Thank you for joining us. Have a good morning, folks. This is Kaylee with Catch the Madness.
This has been Catch the Madness, brought to you by Kaylee's Outdoors. You can also listen to this show anytime from the audio on demand section of mountaintalkradio.com or from the Mountain Talk mobile app. Be sure to join us next week at the same time for another exciting episode of Catch the Madness, a paid presentation of Kaylee's Outdoors. The preceding program has been sponsored by Kaylee's Outdoors. Join us again next Saturday at 8:30 for another episode, or listen anytime from the audio on demand section of mountaintalkradio.com.
Thanks for calling Consolidated Credit Counseling Services. Can I help you?
I sure hope so. I'm in debt.
Is it credit card bills?
Yes, I have 2 credit cards that I'm making minimum payments on, and another that I'm behind on. I owe about $5,000.
What interest rates are you paying?
Between 18 and 22%.
At that rate, it'll take over 20 years to pay off.
Wow, 20 years?
What Consolidated Credit can do is work with your creditors to lower your payments and reduce or even eliminate your interest charges. You should be able to pay everything off in 3 or 4 years.
What do I have to do?
Just give me some details and get ready to celebrate your freedom from debt.
We're Consolidated Credit. We're here to give you freedom from debt. Call now for your free consultation.
If I had known it was this easy, I would have called years ago.
Call 1-800-530-5341. 1-800-530-5341. That's 1-800-530-5341.
Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunlight Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company licensed by New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS that you can't pay? Call now for immediate help. 866-657-8521. At Community Tax Relief, we help consumers like you. If you take on the IRS alone, you could be facing levies, liens, even wage garnishments, personal or business tax issues. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, they will aggressively come after you. Protect yourself and your family today from what the IRS can do to you. Call now. 866-657-8521. They can freeze your bank account, even garnish your wages. Our expert team of tax professionals can solve your tax problems once and for all. Call now for a free 5-minute tax debt analysis. 866-657-8521. 866-657-8521. 866-657-8521.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-639-8620. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It'll be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a non-profit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car. And as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-639-8620. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-639-8620. That's 1-800-639-8620.